Hello and welcome to Nano Battle. Today we will be playing with the Warzone Rumble Pack. This is one of 5 different Rumble Packs available on nanobattle.com. Everything you see here is included in this pack, including our Warzone Nanofield card with our Warzone Nanofields. We have our black and white Blastrid with ID cards and our spark gauges. We also have matching dice and 6 command cards for 2 players or solo matches, and then our operator's guidebook with all the extra details, and our Nanoid factions card and 2 experience mode cards. The back of the Nanoid factions card also includes our advanced rule Nanofield flip, which makes it so that if a Nanoid is not on a Nanofield hex, the hex is always turned back to an upside down mode. So it makes it so that you're always guessing where you're going unless you remember where you were. We won't be playing with that or the experience mode cards today. So let's go ahead and get into it. We'll be the black Blastrid fighting against a wild white Blastrid. So we always start off by rolling the dice to see who places their Nanoids down first. And for dice and our command cards, the numbers indicate how fast in nanoseconds our Nanoids will be reacting to the situation. So with this, it's a 1, so the white Blastrid will go down first, and they are on their faction node already. Every Nanoid has a faction, and if they're on their faction, they can activate their Mega card as an Ultra instead. So let's place our Nanoid on the opposite side of the arena. And we'll place it on this field, which just happens to be the Cherry Mine node. And with any sort of node that gets revealed when you start the match, nothing happens because it's not per the conditions that are on the Nanofield card. So for Cherry Mines, when a Nanoid moves onto or over or reveals the Cherry Mine node, they have to roll a dice, and if it's over 4, they take a spark damage and end their activation. And then anytime a Nanoid activates on this hex, they have to roll the dice, and if it's 5 or higher, they will lose a spark and then continue to activate. Then there's also a node hidden on this Warzone Nanofield set called Cover, and a Nanoid on that node, when they are attacked, can roll the dice, and on 5 or higher, they will activate Dodge. So it's a nice little Warzone arena to dip and dive and push people onto Cherry Mines. So let's go ahead and begin. Everybody starts with the same 6 command cards. A wild Nanoid has all of the cards shuffled face down and activated from randomly, unless there's a special advanced rule that you're using, like from Ninjak's Darkwood Rumble Pack. So let's set our first command card down to activate our Nanoids and begin. So we'll start with, let's get off of this Cherry Mine. So let's go ahead and do our Mega, which is the Cherry Charge. And the white Blastrid will be using Dash. So Dash will activate first. They will move a Nanoid range 1, and if it's the Nanoid field is face down, they'll flip it face up before moving. So let's go straight into the center. And then we will activate our Mega. So our Mega is Cherry Charge, and so that is Dash, Attack, Push. So because we are on the Cherry Mine, let's go ahead and roll our dice first. And it is a 6, so we will receive 1 damage, and then we will continue to activate. So we will dash into the center, and then we will attack and push. We activated on the mine Nanofield, so it was green for our last roll. So it's -2, but it is +1, and we will push. So Blastrid has a skill called Prism Armor that will automatically apply 1 before their armor check. So we don't need to armor check since the Prism Armor has negated the damage. And we'll go ahead and push her away 1. And because we are in the center, we can technically push her in any direction that we choose, being on the same Nanofield. So let's just go ahead and push her straight onto the Cherry node that we were on previously. And with that, when they are moved onto it, they now need to roll their dice. And so it is a 4, so they will receive 1 damage. 1 spark damage. Let's pick our next command card. And it will be, let's see, Since we are 6 right now, that is the green power node. So let's go ahead and use our basic attack. And this Nanoid will try to run, but not before we will be able to do our attack activation. So it's 2, 3, 4. So we already know it's going to be 3 with the prism armor. And so now it'll be 2 damage. So it's 1 and 2. And before the white Wild Blastrid runs, we will roll the dice. And it is 5, so they will take 1 damage and then they will run to another nano field. And they run right into another cherry mine. So when they flip it over, roll again, and that is a 1, they don't get any damage this time. Let's pick our next command card to set, and we'll go with Super. And they will activate Dodge. So Dodge completely negates any, they can avoid being the target of any activation, this activation. So Super is not activated at all. And we will choose another command card. So let's go ahead and dodge ourselves, since we haven't seen much attacks from him. And it is the Mega, so we've dodged a Mega, which is lucky us. Our next command will be, let's go ahead and dash. And they will do their Super, which is the Vortex Blast. So I will dash, let's see, over here. And I found the cover node. So before they activate their Vortex Blast special move, let's roll the dice. And we have 4. So we do not get to dodge this attack. And so the Super is attack and pull, range 3 plus 1 power. They're on 1 right now. So it's gray, which is 0 base power plus the 1 attack. So it's 1 damage. That's negated by our prism armor. And then we are pulled into the center. All right, let's activate our last command card in our hand. And it is Run and Attack. So they'll be able to attack first, but not before they check. And it is on a 5 that they would receive damage, so they are good. And they will attack. It's red. Red is -1 plus the 1. Or rather, it's 1 minus the, yeah. So that would be 0 with prism armor. So there's no roll. And so since we've reached the last card play from our hand, the Rifts have consumed our last command card played, and that will no longer be used for this match. We will shuffle the command cards really quickly for our wild Nanoids. And we'll pick up the remaining cards for the next round. Okay. We are on red, so that's negative. Let's go ahead and dash back to the cover and see what the wild Nanoid will do. They will also dash. So anytime the same card is played, we have to roll both dice because they are glitching. I get a 4, they get a 1. The lowest value will always go first. That indicates fewer seconds to react. So they will dash first. Dash is always to the closest face down hex. So the white Nanoid go here, while we will go ahead and go back to the cover. Actually, before they move though, we're supposed to check because they're still on the cherry mine. And it is 5, so they do take 1 more point of damage because of that. Okay, now we will activate, let's go with our Super. And they will dodge. Okay, so no Super this time. Let's go with our Mega, so we know they will not be able to dodge. They will be able to run. Run lets them move up to X nanofields, X being their range. Blastrid's fast with a 2. And they will target the closest face down hex, which is right here. Have them jump over here. And now we are going to activate our Mega. Our Mega is Cherry Charge, which will let us dash, attack, and then push. So let's go ahead and dash into the center where we can we'll do +1 damage from the red here where we activated. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4 total with the Vortex Blast. And then we'll also push her. Or sorry, it's Cherry Charge. We'll dash, attack, and then push. So we'll be pushing her. So the push will do 1 damage. So even if she could negate any damage from that with her armor, it would not be enough. And we have defeated another wild Nanoid. And that's all there is to Nano Battle in a standard match. Every Rumble Pack can be combined to make bigger arenas, use different Nanoids, create teams. And you also have the Persona cards with experience mode to explore to give your Nanoids new moves. Different advanced rules can mix up the game in considerable ways for experienced operators. We still have our founding operator packs, bundle available on nanobattle.com. It comes with any one of our Rumble Packs, a wild Nanoid pack that has a random assortment of 6 wild Nanoids to mix into your teams. And any of these 2 packs are required to play with our story mode, and it's our first chapter. It's a narrative adventure. It's a roguelike where you'll be diving into a dark world where these nanofields are your only way to continue to travel through it while you're lost, and you have your Nanoid by your side as the wild Nanoids are attacking you, as well as other operators. And it's a roguelike adventure with gear, different arena setups, and the game comes in at just under 10 minutes a match. It can be faster when the Nanoids are powered up with different items and levels, but it's meant to be so that you can play it in around 60 to 90 minutes in several matches over the course of the entire run that you will do. I appreciate you for watching. Hope this gives you a little more insight into the Warzone Rumble Pack. Thank you again.